Hello friends, this is Sanjay Kumar, creator of SelectorsHub and TestCase Studio. Request you please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming updates on SelectorsHub, TestCase Studio or any such conceptual videos. Great, thank you. So most of you have these questions like what are those websites and elements where SelectorsHub will not work? So let me give you the answer here quickly. In fact, I would say that not just SelectorsHub, these are the websites and these are the elements for which none of the browser, or I would say rather most of the browser extension won't support because of standard W3C rule. And in fact, SelectorsHub works for most of the web elements wherever possible, wherever you can write manually selectors for the elements for which if you can write manually, then definitely SelectorsHub will also support. And the websites, if any extension supports those kind of websites, so SelectorsHub will support if W3C will not block. So let's see what are those websites. So the very first thing, the website, the browser store, from where you install the SelectorsHub or any browser extension. So on that website, extension can't support. So this is a rule from the browser store, you can say, or from the W3C. So this is from generally you install SelectorsHub from here on Chrome browser, for Opera from Opera store, for Firefox from Firefox store. So these are the browser store basically, from where you install the apps and extension. So from here if you will try to inspect and then try to open SelectorsHub, you will not find the SelectorsHub tab here. Why? Because Chrome doesn't allow to add the sidebar tab into the tab tools for extension in browser store. So this is where extension won't work. So this is the first place. Next is default new tab, where extension won't work. So default new tab means a tab which doesn't have any URL in the address bar, and this is how you open the new tab. So you see that this is a new tab where no URL is not there, and so on this tab extension won't work. But many times we feel that this is a google.com. So let me tell you guys, this is not a google.com. This is a blank tab. There should be a URL in the address bar, then only extension will work. So here if you will open SelectorsHub, click on inspect and open. Those SelectorsHub will help you to understand that it will not work here. Looks like you are doing something wrong, and here it will help you with the guidelines what you need to do, like open google.com. So if you will open google.com and try to open SelectorsHub, then SelectorsHub will work like jam, like this. Then the third one is privileged browser windows or tabs, such as Chrome : / extension. So on Chrome browser, if you open something like a tab where you used to, basically these are the default or local tabs of Chrome. So privileged tabs they used to generally call it. So on this tab, like here where you add extension, where you downloads or Chrome version or Chrome settings tab, so their SelectorsHub won't work. In fact, none of the extension will work. Like if you try to inspect and then open SelectorsHub here, you will not find it here. Similarly, like if it is a Firefox, then about : and then about : extension or add-ons, that is the general URL. So there it will not work. You can also read it on the default Mozilla website. They have clearly mentioned that you can't call eval on privileged browser windows such as about : add-ons. So this is the region that browser extension can't support on this kind of tab, because of Chrome and the browsers have don't allow basically to inject their extension script into those tabs. So those we call it as privileged browser tabs or windows, you can say. Then the fourth one is closed shadow root. Generally we used to call it as closed shadow DOM. So for the very obvious reason, this is in fact the definition itself suggests that when the mode of shadow root is closed, the shadow root implementation internals are inaccessible and unchangeable from JavaScript. So for very obvious reason, we cannot inject or we cannot access the shadow root element which are inside closed shadow root. So for an example, this element here, if you see that this one we cannot access through like extension, or through we cannot access through JavaScript this one. Okay, let me zoom in. Yeah, so like if this is a inside this one like normal shadow root, then we would be able to access. But if it is inside closed shadow root, then in that case selectors hub will not be able to access that, and it will also let you know that this is inside this element is inside closed shadow DOM, so which is not accessible, though it is also letting you know all the information like this is SVG inside closed shadow root. So all those information you will get from SelectorsHub. But if it will be like normal shadow DOM element like the open one, in that case definitely it will support and it will let you know the selectors and everything. So this is like this is open one, so here you get the selector and all those information. So this is the fourth one that where, and then the last one is canvas elements. So basically canvas elements, like till canvas it will support, and in fact like you would be able to write the selectors till canvas only. Like on this page, if I open SelectorsHub here and try to inspect, so like if you try to inspect this hoodie, we will not be able to inspect this. There is only canvas, this is the only element. So this one element is like basically DOM or HTML you can say for that whole image. So for this, if you by yourself also you won't be able to write the XPath and selectors, you will have to use the coordinates and all, that's a different definition. But here like for canvas element SelectorsHub will be able to generate, but inside that because you cannot inspect this element, so that is the reason that SelectorsHub will also be not able to generate, because you won't be able to inspect this one. So that I mean by default SelectorsHub support, if you see that it supports canvas, like it is able to generate, but it is not able to generate the elements, it is not able to generate the selectors for the elements which are inside, which you are seeing inside the canvas, because for that DOM is not available, HTML is not available in elements tab. So for the obvious reason it will not support. So these are the some of the places where places and website elements where SelectorsHub and in fact like none of the browser extension will work. So I believe like this will be really helpful for you to understand how extension work, where extension will not work, what is the reason behind that, like why it's not working on this tab, why it's not working on for this elements. So definitely this will add some good knowledge for you, and you will not face this challenge that you will not have to ask many a times that why it's not working for this application, why it's not working here, this extension SelectorsHub or any other extension. So hope this you find this video helpful. Please like, share and subscribe. Let others know about SelectorsHub, TestCase Studio. These are really good extension and huge time saver. If you haven't tried TestCase Studio, please try TestCase Studio. This is really helpful to get the steps to reproduce the bug, to get the manual test case automatically. Do try this one, and please keep sharing SelectorsHub and TestCase Studio. If you haven't added the review here, please add the review. And if you feel that these free community products helping you, please consider a small donation here. This will really help me a lot. With that, thank you so much.